There's massive development in Burkina Faso of late. I think we have a new dam construction, or rather a new bridge construction done by President Traore himself. And you know what? 99% of this construction money is not borrowed money. It's coming from a national kitty by the name Faso Mebo. Faso Mebo is a national kitty whereby you can contribute to the national kitty, and the contribution from this kitty is used for the national development. Let's have a look at this bridge. Then when we come back, we can analyze the video further.
Contrôle entièrement financé par l'État burkinabé, les travaux ont été réalisés en 10 mois hors saison pluvieuse par l'entreprise PFO Africa Burkina Faso. L'ouvrage a été inauguré par le Premier ministre, comme vous le voyez sur ces images. On l'écoute.
La mise en circulation ici de ce nouvel ouvrage de franchissement à Hèrèdougou, on peut considérer que c'est une victoire. Parce que si vous vous souvenez, après les derniers épisodes de submersion de l'ancienne voie, le camarade président du Faso, le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré, avait donné des instructions très fermes de prendre toutes les dispositions pour...
This is massive development, guys, and I think President Traore is one of the most celebrated presidents in Africa. No wonder he's not loved by the West. It's as simple as that. So the West don't love this president. In fact, in the European Union Parliament, okay, it happened, I think, a week ago, in the European Union Parliament, they were discussing President Traore, that he is violating human rights, okay, that he's not doing much to combat insecurity issues within Burkina Faso, that he has banned political parties and civil activist group in Burkina Faso. He's being accused left, right, and center. But if you go to Burkina Faso, okay, he is being loved by the Burkinabes, the population, the general population. They are loving this guy because during his tenure, that is from 2022 up to now, there's massive development in Burkina Faso, and in fact, more Africans are being they're being welcomed in Burkina Faso to invest in Burkina Faso, to just integrate with the Burkinabes community. Now, talk about even technology space. Russia is being accused mostly by the Western government because Russia is sharing technology space with Burkina Faso. The scientists in Burkina Faso, they are going to Russia to upgrade their skills. They are going to Russia, study in Russia, coming back to Burkina Faso to catapult the country's economy. So this is the dreams of our forefathers, okay? That Africa has to unite. And we have to unite immediately. Some of the things that are happening in Burkina Faso, they ought to have happened long time ago. But it's because of the leaders that they had, okay, during those days, that the things never happened. But thank God, because President Traore is doing massive developments. No wonder, you know, if you don't know, President Traore is never given right to audience in the African Union, okay? He is never given right to audience because the African Union is saying President Traore was not elected by the law, okay? He took power by coup. He was not democratically elected. That's why he is never given right to audience in the African Union. And when you talk about right to audience, I am speaking eloquently because President Traore has never set foot in the African Union. Okay? He has never said, not even President Traore alone, the leaders in the Sahel region, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, all of them, they've never stepped foot in the African Union because they assumed power through coup. Okay? I love this Traore's approach because Traore is doing things in his own way. He has banned all political parties because he's saying political parties, they are acting as a hindrance block towards development. He has banned civil activist group, not even banned. He has just done some reforms in how they need to operate within Burkina Faso. He He has banned French media companies operating within Burkina Faso due to misinformation. So if you take this, all of this into space, you'll find that he is being accused wrongly. It's as simple as that. So I think when you talk about media space, when you talk about technology space, so that is some of the things that are happening within the region, and that is why he is being accused of that. But above all, we are all seeing what is happening in Burkina Faso: massive development, network development, building of hospitals, building of roads, construction. The government is working hand in hand with the people of Burkinabe to make sure that the country itself is seeing its potential. The education sector is being improved every day. Talk about agriculture. Agriculture is being improved in Burkina Faso. So those are some of the developments that we as Africans should be proud of. Okay? And it's incumbent of us to talk about some of the little things that are happening in Burkina Faso. President Traoré is doing massive things, even though he is being accused by the Western countries of not doing according to what they want him to do. So we as Africans have to speak positivity amongst ourselves. We as Africans have to contribute towards development of this continent. It was the dream of our forefathers to make sure that this continent is of greater height. But they never achieved that. Okay? They never achieved that. But you see, it's incumbent of us to make sure that the continent is catapulted to another level in terms of development, and that is what we are doing. So we have also the national kitty, within Burkina Faso, that is the Faso Mebo initiative. So if you are an African of goodwill, you can contribute to this national kitty so that the kitty is used to develop, of course, to develop the infrastructure project within Burkina Faso. So that being said, even this bridge that has just been launched, the bridge itself, okay, the bridge itself was a product of Faso Mebo initiative. So if it's your first time here, just like this video, join me as you take this channel to another level. Africa will be great. Africa must be great. And it's incumbent of us to make sure that Africa is great. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.